Today is the sixth Sunday after the Feast of the Cross, and the Gospel lesson for today is from the Gospel according to St. Luke chapter 18, verse 18 through 27. This is another quest story in the Gospel according to St. Luke. What can I do to inherit eternal life? That was a question for a ruler. Incidentally, quest story is a type of pronouncement story. Usually, the pericope ends only at verse 30. But church that wants to make a point about God's strengthening in our weakness to end at 27 verse. Maybe the situation the disciples were in, as Paul talks regarding his poverty in 1 Corinthians 4:11, brought this passage into memory. We are not told what kind of ruler he was. Maybe an officer in Roman government, I don't know. We have parallel passages in Mark 10 and Matthew 19. There are slight differences in the storyline among three Gospels. In Luke, the person is a ruler. For Matthew and Luke, it was just certain person. The person calls Jesus good teacher. In Mark and Luke, Matthew omits that salutation. Even though Matthew does not put the word good in the mouth of the person, the reply includes an answer to good, as if the person was asking about goodness. In Luke and Mark, Jesus' reply starts in the form of a question asking him, "Why do you call me good, as God alone is good?" Matthew, who wanted to present Jesus as Messiah, cannot add that statement, as he always wanted to tell his readers that Jesus was Messiah and God. For Luke, this does not bring in any confusion, as he has already pointed out to his listeners that one has to love God alone in Matthew 4:8. In response to the challenge after Jesus' 40 days fasting. Probably here Jesus gives more credit to his incarnate personality than his divinity. Another difference is that while in Mark verse 22 and Matthew again verse 22, the person goes away after the reply from Jesus. But in Luke, though the ruler became sad at Jesus' reply, did not go away, rather stayed back to listen to all the comments Jesus made. Peter's confession comes later and following the comment from Jesus. Luke has another quest story in chapter 10, verse 25, following on the question of a lawyer again who sought eternal life. In chapter 10, the person starts with a negative mood of testing, but ends with a positive mood of leading it to further question, replied through the parable of the Samaritan's noble gesture. Incidentally, I should say, usually people call this particular Samaritan Good Samaritan. I don't think that was the point. Jesus, over against the understanding of Samaritans or attitude against Samaritans, was telling anyone or everyone among the Samaritan community could be good and useful at critical moments. Our story starts with a positive mood of calling Jesus good, but ends in a negative tone saying he was sad. We don't know what made this ruler come to Jesus. Also not sure how he understood eternal life. He seems to be well versed in the law codes of Jewish religion and has been living a religious life with all the commandments faithfully followed, but probably still not sure of its effect in his life that would lead to eternal life. Performing the religious prescriptions do not help them face situations of challenge. This is a challenge before us, the church too. Our outdated prescriptions which do not meet the needs of people in different situations may make them unhappy and not sure of their welfare. That may lead to they move away to other denominations and religious communities. The result is that we fail in our ministry, not to talk about losing number. Question about better tomorrow, both religious and secular, are always before us humans as an important life issue. People many a time ask, what is the way out? The answer given by Jesus, as I look at it, is be kenotic, be emptied. This is the basis of Christian life in its essence. The ruler was asked to do three things: sell, give, and follow. Sell all his property, give them to the poor, and finally follow Jesus. In effect, he had to give up both his property and his ruler job to follow Jesus. But the question would be, what happens next? Will this person become a penniless, homeless roadside dweller? I don't think kenosis has to be understood in terms of walking on the street empty handed with just one piece of cloth. Rather, it has to be denial of the self to become a public person. Even Christian theology these days has become public theology. Recognizing the fact that what he has in is not quite what belongs to him, and what he thinks he is, in fact, becomes of God and many others. I don't think Peter quite understood the matter, but was quick to say he and the fellow disciples follow the rule, verse 27 and 28. If a person had to leave home, parents, relatives, and become a vagabond, then the primary blessing given to creation by God, be fruitful and multiply in Genesis 1:28, will not be in effect. What Jesus did on earth was kenosis. He submitted himself into the hands of God for the sake of the whole creation and got his person back resurrected in 3 days, that everyone can now have a taste of him. Luke 23:46. At the same time, we should bear in mind that on death, Jesus did not forget to entrust his mother into the hands of his favorite disciple. This is our challenge. Today we are going to have the body and blood of our Lord Jesus Christ in the form of bread and wine. It will become our nutrition to both body and spirit. Think for a moment how many people were there behind these two things before it came to us in the form of two edible and holy substances. There are numerous people involved in making this to our mouth, starting with the person who prepared the field to sow the wheat seed and to plant the grapevine, until we, the clergy, who would administer them to you. In such case, can anyone say it was my piece of bread? Or can I say when I administer it, it was I who gave it to you? The cloth I wear, in fact, is the final product of a lot of people's labor. I am a clergyman because people in my diocese elected me and they consider me as their shepherd. When I travel and reach a place, I call back home and say I arrived safe. But that safe arrival was because of a lot of people's intended or unintended cooperation that helped me arrive safe. Just a dog that wanted to cross the road could have made me to a hospital bed than to my destination. The list is not exhaustive. The room we live in, the racket we play badminton with, the water we drink, all have numerous stories of hard toil behind it to share. This is Christianity, recognizing the fact that there is nothing I can claim that it belongs to me or I earned it to occupy this position. Here is a call to kenosis, or a call to be follower of Jesus, who gave the classical example of kenosis, or he himself is kenosis. When we recognize the fact that what we are and what we claim we have are because of our Lord and a million elements in this wide created world, that will make us humble and emptier or chaotic and just the sharing and caring. Empty ourselves from the pride of what we think we have, what we think we know, what we think we are. Let us understand we are just one before the mercy of the Almighty Lord, and among the trillions of people and things created in participation. This is eternal life. If it is hard for one to be like this, what one can do is say, God help me, as in verse 27. May God bless us. Amen.